Mid-story mesophytic hardwood control was conducted in this stand through a combination of two treatments. One was injection of glyphosate. So we can see this red maple, which only about half of the crown is dead. We injected this several times with, pretty hot mix of glyphosate actually. And then for smaller diameter trees, like some really little stuff like this over here, where we actually did try to hit it with a hatchet, that's really hard to actually hit that with a hypo hatchet or just, the other hatchet that we use. So in those instances, sometimes it's a lot easier for us to come in and do what's called a basal bark application, where what we do is we usually use garland for that, or triclopyr is the chemical. We mix it with some basil oil, and all we're really talking about doing is coming in and, kind of treating the lower portion of that stem. And by mixing the chemical with a basil oil or other penetrant, it basically soaks into that tree and takes it out the same way that injection would. So we're just basically directing herbicides directly at that tree. It's not a broadcast application. One thing I do want to point out in here, I know it's not wildly different. These were pretty dark stands to begin with. Compared to the mist-blown application that we've seen, one, there is a little bit more mid-story in here. Sometimes injection doesn't work all that well. We get trees that we put plenty of chemical in them, and for whatever reason, they just don't die. Maybe it's just not going through the hypo hatchet hole. There's a lot of different things that can play into it. And that mist blower certainly coats them. But the other thing is we have more ground vegetation. There's an oak seedling right here. We have some red maple. Of course we have red maple in here. But this wasn't as aggressive as that mist blowing application. So if you look around, again, it's a 360 video, you can see we did a pretty good job of taking out the mid-story. Like that big red maple's dead. A couple of those big sourwoods are toast over there. Sourwood really gets controlled well with this injection method with a little bit of glyphosate. But we did find that a lot of red maple survived it. But again, it did meet our objective of putting a little bit more light on the forest floor, and we're hoping that we can use that to build some oak advanced reproduction in the stand later on.